Today we will be learning a galvanometer. A galvanometer is a device used in a electric circuit to measure small currents. This galvanometer is a very simple device that consists of a rectangular coil of several turns and which is hanged with the help of a phosphor bronze wire, suspended with the help of a phosphor bronze wire in uniform magnetic field produced due to north pole and south pole of a magnet. This rectangular coil, here you can see, a rectangular coil is suspended with the help of a phosphor bronze wire in uniform magnetic field. Now, due to this condition, it experiences two torques. One torque tries to rotate it along one direction, either clockwise direction or anti-clockwise direction, and other torque just counterbalances the torque. So, one place at one time the two torque becomes equal, and this pointer needle which is connected with the help of this rectangular coil comes to a rest. When the two torques, opposing torques, become equal, they cancels rotational effect, coil comes to a rest, and the pointer needle attached to it also comes to a rest. So this is the description of a galvanometer. It is a very simple device, you can see. Now let us learn its principle, working principle. So as I discussed that two torques act on this rectangular coil. What is this torque? So let us discuss with the description of how torque is acted on a door of your house and how the door is rotated. So door is fixed with an axle and it is fixed along one direction. Door can rotate in two directions. It can move in two dimensions. So when we apply any force, instead of translating or accelerating, instead of leaving its place, it keeps there because of it is bounded along one dimension and it rotates there. And this rotational effect is called torque. So torque is rotational effect. Now one torque is given by Lorentz force. A force which acts on a current carrying coil when the coil is kept in any magnetic field. So you can see that the coil is kept in magnetic field. North pole is here and south pole is here, and a current is carrying in this very rectangular coil. So this coil feels a force and this coil also feels a force. But these two opposite part of this rectangular coil does not feel any force because these rectangular coil's length elements are parallel to field vector, so they do not feel any force. Now this provides Lorentz force is given by NIAB sin theta, where N is equal to number of turns of the coil, I is current flowing, A is area of the rectangular coil, and B is your magnetic field. Now the sine theta, this angle is always your 90 degree because length element and field element are always at 90 degree. Here you can see. So putting sine 90 degree, it becomes equal to 1 only. Therefore torque 1 comes equal to NIAB. Torque due to Lorentz force is NIAB. This is one torque. Now consider one situation in which when a heavy mass is suspended from a thread and is given several twists one by one, and then external force is released from there. So we see that after releasing the external force, the wire starts twisting in opposite direction and thus a restoring torque comes into act. So this is another torque due to twisting of this phosphor bronze wire. When it is twisted many times in one direction, then it restores its position by twisting in opposite direction, and a torque acts in opposite direction. That torque I am taking the second torque, torque 2, and obviously you will appreciate that more the angle of twist, more will be this restoring torque. So torque will be proportional to angle of deflection. And therefore this second torque is equal to K theta, where K is torsional constant. So these two torques are acting in opposite direction, and at one time, at one moment, when the two torques becomes equal, then the coil ceases to rotate any further and the indicator needle connected with this rectangular coil stops at one place on the scale, and it just indicates the current flowing through the coil. So at the time when the two torques becomes equal, then Ni from 1 and 2, NIAB is equal to K theta, and therefore I is equal to K upon NAB theta. You can see that torsional constant is a constant, number of turns also is a constant, A is a constant, B magnetic field given is a constant for a given magnet in the galvanometer. So all these terms are a constant. So you see that I is proportional to angle of deflection theta. More will be deflection of this indicator needle, this needle. If it is deflected by greater angle, it will show larger current, and if it is deflected through a smaller angle, it will read small current. So current is read by angle of deflection, and this constant is called figure of merit. This is also called galvanometer constant. Now this equation implies that I upon theta is equal to K upon NAB, and this quantity also is called galvanometer constant or figure of merit. So this is one thing. What is figure of merit? The ratio of current flowing through any conductor through galvanometer divided by angle of deflection. Is called figure of merit or galvanometer constant. Now there one more physical quantity comes related to your galvanometer, that is sensitivity of a galvanometer. There are two kinds of sensitivities: current sensitivity and this is equal to the ratio of angle of deflection to current flowing through it. You can say the opposite of this quantity, theta upon I. Angle of deflection by current flowing through it, theta upon I, and this is equal to your NAB by K. So what is current sensitivity? If larger angle of deflection is there for small current, then galvanometer is very sensitive. And then it measures current with very accuracy. So this is about sensitivity of a galvanometer. More sensitive a galvanometer is, the more accurate result current it will measure. Now there is one more sensitivity, that is called voltage sensitivity. From here you can learn that if current sensitivity is angle of deflection per unit current, then voltage sensitivity is angle of deflection per unit voltage. So angle of deflection by voltage can be obtained as from Ohm's law. You can apply Ohm's law. here theta upon IR. So you need to multiply this equation only by 1 by R. You need to divide this equation by R, and you will find voltage sensitivity, and this is equal to NAB by KR. So how current sensitivity can be increased? It can be increased by increasing number of turns of the galvanometer coil. It can be increased by increasing the area of the galvanometer coil. Current sensitivity now further be increased by increasing the magnetic field applied in galvanometer and by reducing the torsional constant of the phosphor bronze wire. And a phosphor bronze wire has smallest least torsional constant, so a phosphor bronze wire is used. Now voltage sensitivity can also be changed by these ways. There is one question how you can change voltage sensitivity keeping current sensitivity constant. So keep all these quantities constant and only change resistance. Your voltage sensitivity will be changed keeping your current sensitivity constant, because voltage sensitivity is nothing but current sensitivity upon R. By resistance. This was all about a galvanometer. So this is all about a galvanometer. A galvanometer can also be converted into an ammeter. When you connect a very small resistance in parallel to a galvanometer, then the galvanometer is converted into an ammeter. That ammeter measures a very large current. And if you connect a large resistance, a very high resistance in series with a galvanometer, then it is converted into a voltmeter. Voltmeter is used to measure potential difference across any device, and ammeter is used to measure current flowing through any wire.